Hi, I'm Dr. Kylie Dodsworth, and I want to talk to you about pyroluria. It's a funny condition, funny sounding condition. It's spelled P-Y-R-O-L-U-R-I-A, pyroluria. What does that mean? It means pyroles in the urine. So pyroluria means we can measure in our urine the level of a particular waste product from our body called a kryptopyrrole. All these weird names, but the bottom line is that in our body we have little things called red blood cells that carry oxygen, but in order to carry the oxygen we need some hemoglobin. Now the hemoglobin, when we break that down, so these little blood cells only last for a little while in the body, and when we break them down we make a waste product called a kryptopyrrole, and we weed that out of the body. Now the issue with this is that some people actually have their little blood cells breaking down faster than others. And when we do that, we're losing that pyrrole chemical in the urine. And as we do that, it grabs the vitamin B6 and it grabs the zinc and it holds onto them really tight. And so the kidneys can't keep the good bits and wee out the waste. It all gets weed out in the urine. So we lose some vitamin B6 and some zinc, a mineral that we need in our body, when we actually wee out this waste product. Now that happens for every single person because we're always breaking down these blood cells and making new ones, but it's usually just a little bit in the background. The average lifespan for a little red blood cell is about 4 months. But when somebody has this condition of pyroluria, their little blood cells might only last for 3 months. So they've got a little bit extra loss of B6 and zinc. If any person gets stressed, we oxidize or damage our little blood cells faster and we break them down faster. So someone who might be a 4-month cycle might become 3 months, but if you're already on 3 months as your pyroluric and then you actually get faster and faster, your little blood cells might only last a month. And then we have maybe 3 or 4 times the loss of B6 and zinc through the urine. So what happens with pyroluria is we're losing these nutrients, and those nutrients we need in order to make a whole lot of things in our body, but in particular our brain chemistry. So people with pyroluria tend to get low B6 and zinc, and then they get low brain chemistry, and then they start to get symptoms of anxiety. They can get a range of other symptoms as well. So with pyroluria, people become quite sensitive to any of their senses. So touch, things on their skin, labels on their clothes, they don't like those things. Tastes, they have very heightened sense of taste and they just don't like the taste of foods, or they have to add lots of salt, lots of chili, lots of spices to taste things because they're low in their zinc and that affects their taste. They don't like bright lights, so they always want to wear their sunglasses and they're squinting and they're very sensitive to light. Loud sounds are just too overwhelming for them. Repetitive sounds like somebody clicking their pen just drives them nuts. And here's a really funny one, the sound of people chewing. People with pyroluria just go like this, they hate it. It's a really interesting and weird one, but it's quite interesting. So there can be a range of things that people notice around their senses. In addition to that, people with pyroluria tend to be night owls. They're more alert in the evening. They're quite sluggish in the morning. Often don't have much of a morning appetite. They may not break down their proteins very easily because they need zinc for stomach acid. And so they might be a bit more prone to becoming vegetarian or just not having much meat in their diet. People with pyroluria are also more likely to be sensitive to food intolerances like wheat and to dairy. So we might need to have a think about minimizing food intolerances. So if somebody has pyroluria, they tend to have this internal sense of anxiety or tension a lot of the time. They can have episodic explosive sort of anger that can happen. So out of the blue, they just get really angry and then they're okay again. They don't really understand why. Or they might be quite emotionally up and down. So there can be inner tension and worry. There can be anxiety. There can be outbursts of anger or tears. So this emotional roller coaster that they're on. So low zinc can cause white spots on the fingernails. That's another sign that you can look out for. So there can be a range of things that might show up for people to go, well, why am I having these symptoms? And it's often because you're low in B6 and zinc, because you're genetically more prone to this short lifespan of your little blood cells, and then we add the stress on top of it and things go faster again. So to help with pyroluria, we need to try and protect those little blood cells from oxidation or damage, and we do that by using anti-oxidants, brightly coloured fruits and vegetables, supplements of combined antioxidants, so it's not just one type, you have a range within the supplement. You need to look at zinc supplementing, and often it's a lot more than what we'd expect for just normal levels of zinc, because these people are really losing quite a lot. They might need reasonably high levels of supplementing. And vitamin B6 specifically, we need a bit of that, and then some magnesium as well. So there can be a range of nutrients we need. We want some oxidation, some protection, we want some stress management. So it's a whole nother layer, if you like, of what's behind anxiety, what's behind some mood disturbances, which is not just a straight standard sort of anxiety, depression picture. So pyroluria does tend to run in families. It's a genetic condition. So often you'll see that in other family members as well. So if you're noticing that in somebody else, you just, think to yourself, maybe we've got some pyroluria going on here. Now we can test for that by actually measuring in the urine the output of that waste product. But you might need to see a functional or nutritional doctor who does what we call integrative medicine to be able to look at that and get that diagnosis, and then we do some supplementing around that. So if you want to ask any more questions, then you can find me at the website below. Happy to speak to you. I'm Dr. Kylie Dodsworth, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.